Hey, what's up there, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer55551, and I am back with a review/thought video. And for this one, I want to give my take on the Fantastic Four First Step that I just came back from the theaters watching though. And if there's any part of this video you wish to skip to in any way, timestamps will be in the description of this video, so we watch this either on YouTube or Patreon. And for parents out there, it's worth pointing out that Fantastic Four First Step is rated PG-13 here in the US and all. Now, the Fantastic Four obviously is one of the most iconic Marvel characters or comic books out there. They were the ones, I believe, were the ones that helped set the stage for, the Marvel comic universe and everything like that. And there have been different variations of the Fantastic Four over the years, from comic books to TV shows to even video games as well. Movies, I would say, have always been sort of very tricky for the Fantastic Four, though. There was the infamous one that was in development but never saw the light of day and all. And then, of course, we had the two Fantastic Four movies, Fantastic Four and then Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer. Fantastic Four released in 2005 and Rise of the Silver Surfer released in 2007, which supposedly the first one did okay at the box office. The sequel, not as much, which pretty much acts any going forward for 20th Century Fox at the time. With that one, supposedly there were reports about a third movie to even one based off of the Silver Surfer and all. And then, of course, there was the 2015 one, which involved Josh Trank directing that one, which became a colossal disaster and a failure, and reports of issues going around with that movie and everything like that. And ever since then, we haven't had any other attempt at another Fantastic Four movie or anything like that. Of course, once Disney purchased 20th Century Fox back in, I believe it was 2019, there was some hope that maybe, just maybe, we could see the Fantastic Four back on the big screen, perhaps making its way into the MCU, which was headed by Kevin Feige over at Marvel Studios and all. And during one of the I think it was either one of the Comic Cons, I'm not 100% sure, they were announcing that they were working on stuff like a Blade movie, which I've been hearing there's been some on and off issues with that one, a X-Men movie, and of course one on the Fantastic Four as well. And people were kind of curious to see how Marvel Studios and how the Fantastic Four were going to be entered into the MCU and all. And well, when the first teaser trailer this year dropped and all, I was very interested in this. I was very curious to see how this one was going to play out. I thought it was very interesting how they went with sort of like a retro futuristic style and everything. And it certainly kind of caught my attention and all. And then, of course, they showed off other trailers and all. Well, finally, after coming back from the movie, though, I will say, out of the MCU movies we've seen so far this year and all, I will say that I do think Fantastic Four: The First Step is probably their best one they've done in 2025 and all. Don't get me wrong, there are other MCU movies that I still think are better and all, but I did come away very pleased with the Fantastic Four First Step. So I'm going to break it down into what I like and what I didn't like, mixed, I'm not 100% sure about. In terms of what I like, I will say I definitely like this retro style or futuristic 1960 looks that they were aiming for with this one. Like how back then people called it like, the world of tomorrow with flying cars, which we're in the 21st century, where's my flying car and all. But in either case, I definitely like that they aim for that look. To be exact though, it just adds sort of like a little bit of a style or somewhat of a nostalgic apologize, I'm not saying the word correctly, style to it. So I definitely like they went with this 1960 futuristic look though. I think it was done very well and everything, so that certainly was great. As far as the cast goes, I did enjoy the cast, but I think the two that stood out the most is Pedro Pascal's portraying of Reed Richards. I do like some of the roles Pedro Pascal has done in the past, whether it was on The Mandalorian, to him playing Joel in The Last of Us. He just does a really good job with some of these roles, and this one is no exception. And of course, Ralph, Ineson, if I'm saying his name correctly, I thought he did a good job playing Galactus, though. I definitely like how Galactus was portrayed this time around. Different than what it was in Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, which was more like a giant space cloud and all. You did see some image of Galactus, but not compared to how it was done in Fantastic Four First Step, though. I thought they did a good job with that one. So yeah, I think the cast was good, but I think Reed Richards and Galactus were the one I felt like kind of knocked it out of the park. This one I thought was kind of interesting, and not in a bad way though, is that there was really no connection to the MCU. I mean, compared to past MCU movies we've seen, you see sort of like maybe a nod and wink to certain things. Even some of the MCU shows on Disney Plus, there were also some nod and winks here and there. What's interesting about this one, outside of maybe I think one end credit scene, and although you didn't really see any connection to any other parts of the MCU in any shape, any form. They'll mention this is like Earth, like 328 or something like that, but outside of that, you won't really see anything. And I thought that was kind of interesting. They decided to take that approach to a certain degree. My original thought that it would take place in, the MCU in the 1960s and all, but obviously that wasn't the case with this one, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing that they kind of take that approach. Now, obviously, the Fantastic Four will be in Avengers Doomsday. How that plays out and what that means from them going from there remains to be seen. But I thought it was very interesting how, for this movie, there's no connection to the MCU in any way whatsoever. At least not until I think one of the end credit scenes and all. And last but not least is that there are some funny moments in this movie. Now I will admit, there are some serious moments here and there, especially when they're talking to Galactus, to them trying to figure out how to stop Galactus from devouring the Earth and all. But there are certainly some funny moments, including basically Thing, in terms of Johnny Storm telling him to say what time is it, and he doesn't want him to say the famous "it's clobbering time," the phrase used in the Fantastic Four cartoon that they show in the movie, like that old 1960 cartoon look to it and all. So, there were some interesting, funny moments here and there. Most of it is serious, but there are definitely some funny moments. Although I will say, one scene in particular I thought was funny involved putting the baby car or baby seat into the Fantastic Four car, and I thought it was just funny just watching Reed Richards, Johnny Storm, or Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, Human Torch, and Thing try to solve it. Though it was that was pretty funny though. But either way, there were some funny moments though, and some serious moments to be exact. As far as what I didn't like or mixed or not 100% sure about, I will say there was really only two that I could think of, at least popped into my head. I will say the first one is I'm a little mixed on how Mole Man was portrayed in this film. Now, for the record, I will say the actor that played Mole Man, Paul Walter Hudson, I apologize for not saying that name correctly though, I thought he did a good job. I didn't hate his acting or anything like that. I was just mixed in how Mole Man was kind of portrayed a little bit though. It just felt like a sort of like a just a person with a suit, like an awful suit and everything like that. I just was a little mixed in how he was sort of portrayed to a certain degree. I don't think the actor did a poor job. It's just the way he was portrayed, at least in this movie. Although I did like the one scene where they're fighting the giant mole and all, so I will give them credit on that part. And last but not least, I will say I was kind of mixed with some of the end credit scenes. Now, for those who basically stuck around to see the end credit scenes in Marvel's Thunderbolt, they did have a scene where they showed the Fantastic Four spaceship heading towards, the MCU Earth and everything like that. And unfortunately, and I know this might be a spoiler for some folks out there, so a little heads up on this one though, you don't really see anything like that. You do see one scene that looks like it's setting the stage for Avengers Doomsday, which is the next Marvel movie or the next upcoming Avengers movie and all, but I'm just a little mixed in how some of the end credit scenes were handle, at least in this version of Fantastic Four and all. Overall, I would say I came away pleased with watching the Fantastic Four First Step. I thought we finally got a good Fantastic Four movie after waiting a long time, and I definitely think Marvel definitely hit it out of the park, I think, with this one though. At its best though, the retro 1960s futuristic look is really the big highlight for me. I like that style that they aimed for with this film though. I thought the acting was done great. I think Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards and Ralph's Galactus were really hit it out of the park and all, so I thought they did it good. I thought it was interesting how there is no connection to the current MCU to a certain degree, and although serious, there are some funny moments here and there. But at its worst though, I am mixed on how Mole Man was portrayed in this film, and I was also mixed on two of the end credit scenes for this film and all. But in either case, I still came away very pleased with this movie though. Hopefully you guys enjoy it as much as I do though. It will be very interesting to see how this one does at the box office. So far, it seems to be doing good, but whether or not it will be on the same scale as James Gunn's Superman movie or overtake that remains to be seen though. And I am very curious to see how the Fantastic Four are going to be handled once, Avengers Doomsday comes out. But in either case, I came away pleased with this movie though. Hopefully you guys can see it though. Hopefully you guys have the chance to see it. I will say, normally I would say see a matinee on this, and while I still do, I do feel like this is one of those films that it's okay to maybe not go matinee and just see it at full price, although I still recommend matinee if you are trying to save money and all. But in either case, I came away pleased with the Fantastic Four First Step and all. Okay, this concludes my review slash thoughts on Fantastic Four First Step. And again, these are my opinion. What are yours? What are your thoughts about the Fantastic Four First Step? Did you enjoy the film? Did you not enjoy the film? Do you like what they went with this retro 1960s futuristic look to it though? Were there any characters you felt that stand out the most? Did you like the fact that to a certain degree the film doesn't have a huge connection to some extent to the MCU and all? Were there some funny moments you did or did not like? Did you agree with what I said in this video? Did you disagree? Do you have a difference of opinion? As always, sound off in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And if you do like this video, I hope you hit the like button. I would appreciate it. And I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you do, make sure you hit the bell icon for notifications of any new videos I put up. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to, and feel free to donate to my channel if you like. You can do it through PayPal Me, Patreon, or Steam Labs. Links will be in the description of this video, so you're watching this either on YouTube or Patreon. And I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that'll be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good day then. Bye!